trans state of visibility, everybody. I can't breathe through my nose. I can't really play that thing if I can't breathe through my nose. um, so, let me see if I can read this with a straight face. This is from the White House briefing room on March 30th, 2022. A proclamation on Transgender Day of Visibility 2022 by the President of the United States of America. A proclamation. I wonder if he read this. To everyone celebrating, I don't even try to do that. I can't do him. I really don't do good caricatures of anybody. Impressions, whatever you call it. To everyone celebrating Transgender Day of Visibility, I want you to know that your president sees you. The First Lady, the Vice President, the Second Gentleman, and my entire administration see you for who you are, made in the image of God and deserving of dignity, respect, and support. On this day and every day, we recognize the resilience, strength, and joy of transgender, non-binary, and gender non-conforming people. We celebrate the activism and determination that fueled the fight for transgender equality. We acknowledge the adversity and discrimination that the transgender community continues to face across our nation around the world. And I give so much thanks and praise to all the queer people that put in all that hard work in the 80s and 90s to get the Tucson's anti-discrimination ordinance enacted in 1999. So by the time I arrived here to stay in 2014, 2013, we were part of the landscape. Nobody noticed. I mean, my presentation is gender neutral, so people either see a man or a woman and don't make anything of it. And you know, when I do meet somebody and they misgender me, I don't even have to explain anymore what's going on unless they apologize too much, and I need to shut it down. I'm so grateful to have been led here and for the community that I've established. I've had some disappointments, thanks to my toxic fan club. But otherwise, boy, I got a lot of friends on Planet Happy. I don't have nearly enough time to spend with them because they're mostly good time friends. They'll have their own lives, but they have free time that they like to spend with other people. And unfortunately, because of the lockdown, our opportunities to do that are limited. I have a few friends that have some actual, quality time more than just hanging out at some club, seeing a band or two. But I'm part of the live music and art community here in this town, and we just, we're basically nice to each other. Everybody builds the other, as long as you're nice, people are going to be nice back to you. And there are some jerks, and there's a lot of transphobia that people have to keep play close. They can't be openly transphobic here so easily because of the anti-discrimination ordinance and because of the very strong queer community. You just don't jump queers in public for no good reason. Get yourself in trouble, hurt. So anyway, back to the president's proclamation. Visibility matters, and so many transgender, non-binary, and gender non-conforming Americans are thriving. Like never before, they are sharing their stories in books and magazines, breaking glass ceilings of representation on television and movie screens, enlisting once again to serve proudly and openly in our military, getting elected and making policy at every level of government, and running businesses, curing diseases, and serving our communities in countless other ways. Despite this progress, transgender Americans continue to face discrimination, harassment, and barriers to opportunity. Transgender women and girls, especially transgender women and girls of color, continue to face epidemic levels of violence. And 2021 marked the deadliest year on record for transgender Americans. Each of these lives lost was precious. Each of them deserved freedom, justice, and joy. We must honor their lives with action by advancing equity and civil rights for all transgender people. It's about time that he spoke up. We and the indigenous people, and then he's got to get on the fossil fuel shit. He's got to take some serious action about pipelines and ancestral lands and land rights of indigenous nations and all the happy shit. But here at least he's finally jumping up. In the past year, hundreds of anti-transgender bills in the United States were proposed across America, most of them targeting transgender kids. The onslaught has continued this year. These bills are wrong. Efforts to criminalize supportive medical care for transgender kids, to ban transgender children from playing sports, and to outlaw discussing of LGBTQI+ people in schools undermine their humanity and corrode our nation's values. Studies have shown that these political attacks are damaging to the mental health and well-being of transgender youth, putting children and their families at greater risk of bullying and discrimination. My voice is not going to hold up very much longer tonight. My entire administration is committed to ensuring that transgender people enjoy the freedom and equality that are promised to everyone in America. That is why I signed an executive order preventing and combating discrimination on the basis of gender identity or sexual orientation. We are expanding federal non-discrimination protections, promoting strategies to address violence against the transgender community and advance gender equity and equality, and disseminating new resources to enhance inclusion, opportunity, and safety for transgender people. Additionally, Americans will soon be able to select more inclusive gender markers on their passports. I continue to call on the Congress to swiftly pass the Bipartisan Equality Act, which will ensure that LGBTQI+ individuals and families cannot be denied housing, employment, education, credit, and more because of who they are or who they love. We will continue to work to help transgender people around the world live free from discrimination and violence. And if there's anybody caught in a bad way that's transgender, that I certainly am praying for, and the only people who I have a whole lot of sympathy for is the queer Ukrainians. They are just stuck. They were starting to get some opportunities, safety, be able to be openly queer and under the old regime, and then it just turned to shit under the new Nazis. And then the Russians want to kill them too. So, anyway, on this Transgender Day of Visibility, we honor transgender people who are fighting for freedom, equality, dignity, and respect. We also celebrate the parents, teachers, coaches, doctors, and other allies who affirm the identities of their transgender children and help these young people reach their potential. Transgender people are some of the bravest Americans I know, and our nation and the world are stronger, more vibrant, and more prosperous because of them. To transgender Americans of all ages, I want you to know you're so brave. You belong. I have your back. Now, therefore, I, Joseph R. Biden Jr., President of the United States of America, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Constitution, The laws of the United States do hereby proclaim March 31st, 2022 as Transgender Day of Visibility. Call upon all Americans to join us in lifting up the lives and voices of transgender people throughout our nation and to work toward eliminating discrimination against all transgender, gender nonconforming, and non-binary people and all people. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand this 30th day of March in the year of our Lord 2022 and of the independence of the United States, the 246th. This is also Cesar Chavez Day, but I don't have the voice to read that whole thing. Let's see what. Yeah, he would have about the same amount too. No, I ain't reading it. L'chaim. I should read. Did I read? No, I didn't. No, I hope I didn't. I don't think I've read this out loud yet. This is the video I just uploaded, and the comment. Actually, it started with a comment to Debbie Jackson. My piece is titled "The Moms Aren't Okay." Here's a nice kickoff for my Transgender Day of Visibility 2022 postings. This is my trans birthday weekend, so I'm going to be having as much fun as I possibly can. Hopefully, I'll make fat bank at the street fair too. The mama bears are weary. They're tired of having to fight off misinformed haters, especially in Texas, with Amber Briggle and Kimberly Shapley directly threatened by the CPS thanks to Abbott's memo. Debbie Jackson wrote tonight, someone asked me a few days ago if I'm okay. And I tried to smile and replied, not really. Today I would simply say no. I know that a lot of us share that feeling. So I'm really looking forward to a series of Trans Joy tomorrow for TDOB. Tag me with abandon so I can see all of them. And a friend, will do, but warn you, mine is joy, and a call to action. And she responded, even better, let's scream about action. I'm sharing that feeling tonight with another friend. I just told my brother a few minutes ago, it has me feeling depressed, angry, anxious, angry, helpless. Did I say angry? I also said that I'm feeling that strongly. I cannot even begin to imagine what the parents and kids that are directly being attacked are feeling. I hope for many positive stories tomorrow. We all need them. Love to you and your family, Debbie. You all give me hope. And I said to her, I hope you're not okay because of just extreme frustration, Debbie, and not medical issues flaring too. She has a chronic problem that's very painful. I know all too well how difficult it is to keep the mind focused on anything when the body's in pain. It's that time of year we use a towel to blow our nose. I think it's mostly dust. Nothing's moving. Probably too dehydrated. The world is not okay, and we're a wedge issue in its disease consciousness. Be confident that love is winning this, at least in the US, no matter how insanely nasty and misinformed the people you're confronting are. Keep your dignity and keep building those bridges into the progressive cis world. But most of all, stay happy within yourself and your immediate relations, in solidarity with the rest of us. Whether you want to accept it or not, you and your husband are a role model for thousands of families. And you have few peers with your spunk and courage to stand in the fire the way you do. Be confident, too, that you have thousands of older trans people watching your back, your blanks, your 6, and your 12. I think you'll appreciate this conversation with the supervisor at El Rio Community Health Center I asked to speak to when I got misgendered by a phone agent while I was on the edge of freaking out over my car that has a blown engine because of contaminated fuel. She's the mother of a 13-year-old lesbian with a transgender bestie. Freedom and liberty are about the unencumbered pursuit of happiness, and it's frightening to think that destroying the lives of queer kids would make people happy. The majority of our fellow Americans are appalled by that. My 8th trans birthday is Friday, and I'm probably going to lay low tomorrow because I've got a show this weekend to prepare for. For some reason, there's no event advertised for tomorrow locally. Saga's thing was supposed to be the 27th, and they postponed it to April 11th. So happy TDOB, everybody. Say it loud. I'm out and I'm proud. So let's segue back to Saga for a moment. There's an ugliness there. There's an exceptionalism that these QPOB or QPOC who've become the dominant force, these younger people have pushed out all the older white women. Probably men too. I haven't seen the trans guys. What's his name? Michael Woodward and God, what's Dante? I haven't seen either one of them around at all. And I don't really see anything from, I mean, when I go look at Saga, I see shit like this. This is like, what the fuck is going on with this? Yeah, they're being like real exclusive. Oh, well, I guess they proposed. They had it on the 27th, scheduled for some taco shop on the north side in Midtown. But apparently somebody passed on. Somebody named Tori Santo Pelletier. Doesn't say how or why, but they decided to put it off until the 11th. Yeah, so here's some exclusivity. Saga event guidelines. All Saga events are anti-cop spaces as we strive toward visions of abolition. If conflict arises or in case of emergency, do not call 911. Alert a Saga representative and we will assess what the individuals may need or want. And they're just very exclusive. Yeah, lots of rules. COVID safety rules. So at least they're not hitting up for a license, vaccine license. Um, I don't know. I'm part of the hippie music and arts festival community where just be kind, be nice, and if you need them, you do call the cops. Um, Cops have their place in the community. Um, I'm not at all for abolition. I'm for restructuring. I want to see unarmed first responders handling most of the calls. Um, it's made a huge difference in many places, but we need people who are well trained in conflict resolution, de-escalating agitated people, and armed law enforcement that just ain't cutting it. They need people, trained in psychiatric de-escalation kind of stuff. And the 2/3 of the call. I shouldn't be throwing numbers around. The vast majority of calls that result in the injury of or death of a cop or a civilian are domestic disturbance calls, and those need to all be. And this is the kind of responders, and some narcissistic um, leader of somebody on the saga board is not somebody I'm going to trust for conflict resolution in a conflict where there's potential violence. Sorry, I really don't want to dwell on that. I got. What the fuck is that sound? Is that my new phone? Trying to talk to me? Seems to be. I got a new phone today. I got messages waiting. Okay. I have 4 messages. Where are they? I only see 1. I should have done that by now. I'm fucking around on Facebook. I'm talking to the camera. This one's a Motorola. I'm not happy about that. Is this the same? Oh, it's the same. Oh, good. Samsung now has the same as the Motorola one. I got out of there with the second phone, and now I'm only paying $40 for each line instead of 60. Well, here's my new phone number. I need to set up I need to set up a new Facebook account and a new Twitter account and Medium and Tor and everywhere else without using my name. So no, I don't. I think that's probably enough of this. How long has this been going on? No, not quite a half hour. I really should be talking. These fools, they believe things that just aren't true about me. I'm at my desk or somewhere nearby, puttering around with the stones or musical instruments. Pretty much most of the day, most days, unless I go somewhere and do something. Um, which I'm doing more and more. Now, I was talking about that before with the um, lockdowns. Things are just starting to open back up and get good and swing again. And I want, I'm dead in the water at the moment with no vehicle. But as soon as I got wheels, I'll be, spending more time away from my dad, swinging bling, or just getting out and socializing and swinging bling. I am expecting to caravan with Planet Jam from shortly after for the last week of June and the first week of July. I expect to be on the road with Planet Jam. I haven't been able to get through to her. I don't know what's going on. She hasn't been returning calls lately, and she hasn't posted either. I probably should get in her face at Facebook. So I called her twice, and she hasn't. Okay, she hasn't posted in 2 days. And she hasn't posted much all week. She hasn't posted much all month. Because she's working a full-time job. So, anyway, yes, I'm fucking nuts. You'd be nuts too if you lived through what I lived through. And if you don't want to believe it, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what you believe about anybody's sex and gender. The President of the United States has declared that we're legit. So get in line, or get on a bus, or get out of the pool, fool. Get on the bus, Gus, or get out of the pool, fool. My name's not Tom. I'm not a him. I shouldn't have to explain myself to anybody. And I don't. With most people in the real world, or even in the virtual world, most people are like getting with the program and understand that we're born this way. And, it's what Dr. King's dream was about, is that people need to be judged on the content of their character alone, not how they look, how they smell, how they behave. What words are coming out of their mouths? What actions are they committing with their hands? That's what you judge a person by. What do they do with their hands, and what do they say with their mouths? Now, I try to talk a lot of pragmatic viewpoints on things that are sensitive topics that are should be like addressed. Excuse me, I am a blacklisted ecosystem engineer. I am a mutilated hermaphrodite. I am a first generation rainbow hippie. Um, I'm real good with the rocks. People really dig me shit on my stones. And they sell well when I'm in a buying crowd, you know, and people love my music. They people like to jam with me, and people like to throw me money when I'm playing. So excuse me. When people walk up to me when I'm just walking down the street and not doing anything and give me money for playing music that they saw somewhere else. Excuse me. You hate yourselves. You're jealous of my happiness. You see a freaky looking dude having fun. I have, I don't have a sidekick. Okay, I've never really had much of a sidekick. Um, but I've had good friends and I've done a lot of, collaborated in a lot of good times. I always do. you know, what would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you get up and walk out on me? Lend me your ear and I'll sing you a song and I'll try not to sing out of key. I get by with a little help from my friends. I get high with a little help from my friends. Could it be anybody? I just need someone to love. It would be nice to get naked and swap spit with somebody, but I get enough love just being me. I get enough, endearment, affection, uh, affirmative words. People think that I'm ass blasted mad, and I'm really sad for them more than angry. It's like it's like contrast. I can see the contrast between the way most people respond to me. I mean, yeah, most people can't handle me in more than small doses, but it's cool. I can't handle me in more than small doses. So happy Trans Day at Visibility, everybody. Rock and roll.